Hey everyone, welcome to Bassin with DJ. Today, on Bass Class, we're going to be talking about soft plastics. Now, there are many different types of soft plastics, more than I can cover in this video. But we're going to be talking about mainly, like, 3 different types of bait. There's going to be the creature bait, there's going to be, like, fish baits, like, to basically make a new fish, and then there's going to be just, like, worm baits. So, let's hop right into that. First, going off of creature baits, this is a very good example of one right here. This is the Guggen Baits Bandito bug. It's, I don't know what it's made to, kind of show, I guess, kind of recreate. I would say it's something close to a craw and just some kind of bug, as you can see right there. It's very beautiful. This is a watermelon color. So another example of a creature bait would be, something like this. This is the Yum Craw, the Christy Craw. I couldn't remember what it was. But this is the Christy Craw. It's a very beautiful, beautiful craw. Use this for trailers a lot. Another style of creature bait is this. This is the Havoc Craw. I don't know what it's called, but I use this for just Texas rig craws. It's very good during like late times. Another type of creature bait, I mean, this could technically be any bait. This is a tube, probably one of the most versatile things in bass fishing. Then going on from there, I have to go through a couple boxes, sorry about this. Another creature bait. Oh, I don't have any more creature baits. Alright, now on to, sorry about that. Now on to like fish intimidating baits, like to recreate a fish. These are mainly swim baits. This is what a swim bait is. It's got the boot tail, so when you're pulling it through the water, it's kind of got this action. It's very useful bait. Another fish type creature or thing is a fluke. These I use a buttload in the summer. These weighted, no weight, weightless, just a straight EWG hook, or double offset is what I use. As you can see, it's got this fat body right here, super thin area right before the tail, and then the tail gets thicker. So that does a lot of kicking, and when it's like a jerk bait, you jerk it, and it just darts around to intimidate to recreate injured bait fish. And then right here I have another swim bait. This is a Kitech, but it's a little bit smaller, has a hook slot. You can rig this on just about everything. I used to throw these on drop shot rigs, and that worked great. Let's see, what other ones do I have in to make a fish? Oh, these are some interesting ones. Now these are both Lake Fork hyperworms. These are very interesting soft plastics. I'm going to show you the watermelon color because these are the ones that I have more of. As you can see, it's got this rather large boot tail. It's almost like a paddle. And right here, it gets super thin right there, so that this tail can actually kick, which you wouldn't think that this would kick, but it does. It kicks a lot. I actually have one tied on like a wacky style rig. It's a very interesting soft plastic. You can rig this just about any way you want. So next up, I don't know that I would classify this as that, but this is a curly tail. This is by Culprit. It's a very interesting bait. I wouldn't say that it's one that it's more of a mix between a worm and a fish style bait, because this tail really kicks, but it's a worm on the top, obviously. Well, speaking of worms, let's just start working into worms. Now, this is probably the most vast category of soft plastics. This is a Zoom trick worm. I believe it's about 7 inches. You can rig these on Texas rigs, shaky head rigs, drop shot, just about any rig that you can think of. Next up, you have these. This is Bass Pro Shop Sticko. It's got the split tail. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Bass Pro Shops plastic, which I don't know why, because this is some great plastic. It's very durable. It's very, I think it has salt in it. I'm not for sure, but Ned rig and drop shot rig, this thing really shines. And next up on the worms is right here. This is another style of trick worm. I believe this is a Yum trick worm, and it is fat. I mean, this thing is very fat. It's got the same kind of tail as the fluke and the trick worm, where it thins up right here and it gets fatter at the end, so that way it flails around a little bit more. Not a horrible trick worm, definitely not the best. Next up, actually I'll save this for last, because those are probably the most versatile. You've got a smaller curly tail that you can, I mean, curly tails are probably one of the most versatile baits, once again. But next up, this is probably one of the most important soft plastics to have in your bag. If I could probably have one bait for the summer, this or a frog would probably be the best. This is a Senko. Now, any Senko will really work, but obviously Gary Yamamoto Senkos are probably the pinnacle of bass fishing. They're probably one of the best inventions for bass fishing of all time. I mean, there's no really better bait for it. There's like, here, I'll grab a pack real quick. So, these are the Yama Senkos, as you can see in the back. I'll go ahead and take one out for you. This is a brand new pack, actually. So, this was actually based off of a Bic ballpoint pen. Now, this is probably the most important soft plastics to have at any time. You can rig this. You can cut it, put it on a Ned rig. You can cut it again, put it on a drop shot. You can throw a wacky rig, Nico rig, cat rig, whatever you want. Texas rigged, obviously, because Texas rig works on anything. But the Senko is probably the most, like, versatile bait. Now, I do have some worms up here that I've made. I actually pour and make baits, like hard baits and soft baits. I have some right here. Now, these aren't the cleanest pours because these are pretty old pours. They were like 2 weeks ago. They actually have some plastic on them that are left over. But this is our drop shot worm. It's an open pour, as you can see, because it's got a flat side. But there's some flashing on this, which this is probably my favorite color. I melted down some robo worms. I don't know what color they were, but it's got this like purple, blue, green sheen. It's a beautiful color. I would almost describe it as a root beer color. So that's like a drop shot shaky head rig worm. And then we've got a green pumpkin worm. This is gonna smoke them this summer, hopefully. But that's basically all the soft plastics that you're gonna need to start fishing. Obviously, there's other ones like obviously the Buzz Toad, probably my favorite topwater lure to use in the summer. There's many others, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.